thing that I was trying to say is that this ain't gonna work because I gotta turn. Oh man. But the thing that I was trying to say, man, is that if you play with a puppet, man, it's gonna lick your face. And so you mad now. You mad because Rainwater done tried to pull a stunt on you. You mad because the very creature that particular snake has personified or tried to show you has come to real life. See, when we know something and we feel something and the people around us are telling us to get away from that, like the old grandmothers used to say, you better get from around here. Get away from there. And we keep going towards it. And we say, mama, granny, papa, uncle, I got it under control, man. They don't know me. You know, if ain't nobody else all right, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be all right. Until the fire gets hot. And like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you in the fire. And maybe if there's not a fourth person that enters that fire, you get burned. You in the fire. And so I would say this to you, my brother, who you got to cry to. I mean, you've taken us a long way. I won't take that from you. You've taken us a long way because you started the conversation. It's a conversation that needed to be had. We needed to tell our youth to stop killing one another. And I will tell you, part of the blame is us. Part of the blame are those that were born in the 70s. Part of the blame is us, those who started with the gangster rap music. Because we were latchkey kids. We raised ourselves. We were raised like wolves. I heard O.G. Percy say the other day, he said, now these kids come home and just fix them a sandwich. Well, I don't know how y'all grew up in Fort Worth. But where I'm from, a lot of us raised ourselves. Because our parents had to work. We didn't have a bunch of sitters. We didn't have people to go to. You had your apartment key around your neck. You had to figure out what you were going to eat. If there was bread in there and you had some syrup in there, you made your syrup sandwich. If there was bread in there and all you had was mayonnaise, you made your mayonnaise sandwich. You ate the Vienna sausages. You ate the sardines. You ate anything that you could to feed your family, to feed your belly. Because when you've gone a long period of time without eating, you understand that. You start to understand that it's difficult for you to function. It's difficult for your brain to operate. It's difficult for your body to function because you need nourishment. You need nutrients. And when you don't have those things, you're not going to do well in school. I remember me and a guy named Lewis and a partner of mine named Dave. We would go to the local Pizza Hut after school because I didn't have lunch every day. So some days I would have a headache, but we'd ask, can we fold boxes? You know, the pizza boxes that you have, we'd ask, can we fold them? And in exchange for folding those boxes, we'd fold them up to the ceiling. And in exchange for folding those boxes, they'd give us one large pizza apiece. And they would allow for up to 3 toppings. And during the work process, they would allow us to participate in the buffet. It was a lifesaver to those young men who were probably just trying to save time so they didn't have to fold those boxes at the end of their shift. I appreciate it because to me and Lewis, it was a lifesaver. If I wouldn't have been getting those pizzas from folding those boxes, I probably would have been running up in somebody's house. Management changed at the Pizza Hut and we stopped folding boxes. They said that the manager no longer works there and the new manager won't let us fold boxes. So the new hustle, we were going over to the gas station. And we would ask the patrons of the gas station, can we pump your gas? And most people would not look you in the eye and they just say no and continue moving on. And every now and then you get someone that would say, here's a tip. And they give you $5, $10. I remember once one guy gave us $20 a piece because he knew that we were hungry. But we weren't stealing or robbing for it yet. we were still willing to work. From there on, I went door to door, selling things legitimately. First aid kits, peanut brittle, whatever I had to do to turn a buck. Because when you're hungry, you want to eat. See, long before the lion comes out in you, you try to do right. Long before the lion comes out in you, you try to do right. And after a while, that lion rears his head. And so I remember them getting locked up. Then I remember breaking into some car washes. And from there, the crimes continued to escalate. And what ended up happening is the same thing that's happening today with the rappers. That's happening to the patrons of California that are going there with jewelry in hopes in seeing their dreams, in hopes in stunting. And they're getting robbed and taken for everything they have. Because you're approaching a destination where there are lions on the savannah that may not have been fed. And though your ulterior motive is to stunt and to shine, they are conditioned to eat. And those lions have not been fed. The economic conditions have become poor since 2020. Those lions haven't been fed. And you're coming to their destination with thousands upon hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry on, eating at the restaurants that they can't afford, when all they were looking to do was to fold some boxes. All they were looking to do was to get some gas. And their stomach starts to roar and their head starts to hurt. And they realize, wait, I'm a lion and I might have to take his plate. And they do what the lions do. They congregate and they react. And so I am sad for the families of those that lose people. And this is a PSA, not only for Los Angeles, but for anywhere in the world, because the world is a ghetto. That when you go amongst the lions, you go amongst the disenfranchised, the unfortunate, go giving, go with a kind heart, with a giving spirit. Don't go to embarrass them. Don't go to shame them and rub food in their faces, feasts in their faces, and then close the door and say they can't eat. Because in the event that you do that, you may end up facing the jaws of a lion.